This podcast is brought to you by our friends at Anchor by Spotify. And if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. No specialty training or equipment needed. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast worldwide on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, like I've been saying, Anchor is totally free. It's free. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started and make your podcast dreams a reality. That's anchor.fm. What are you waiting for? Download the app. This is Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Here's how it goes for those of you that haven't tuned in, and shame on you for not tuning in. You get 3 starts from me, or green lights. You get 3 starts from D, or more green lights. You get 3 fantasy sits from me, or red lights, and 3 fantasy sits from D. But we're going to start first with our sits, our red lights. Who are your red lights for this week, D?
All right, so my first red light is going to be a shocker. It's actually Zeke going against the Eagles defense.
Oh.
I think Pollard's the more polished back for this type of game. I don't see Zeke being able to get through that Eagles defense. Number 2, I've got staying in the same game, actually, Miles Sanders against the Dallas defense. I think Dallas is doing a really good job of stuffing the run, and Micah Parsons is just a monster. And my last one is Juju Smith-Schuster against the Buffalo Bills. I actually think Juju's done. He's just a piece of paper on the field right now. It's kind of sad because you would think he'd have some kind of explosiveness, some kind of rapport with Pat Mahomes, and it's just not there.
No, it's not there yet. I mean, we'll see.
It's never gonna get there, man. You would have done it by now.
Yeah, you would think so, but it's been a while since Juju's been relevant. Let's just put it that way. For my sits, for my red lights, I'm going to start with the Patriots defense against the Browns. I think that Hunt, Chubb, they're going to run all over the place. They're going to run all over them. The Patriots like to play bully ball, but when they get bullied, that is going to be an interesting way to go. And they're going to get bullied this weekend by the Cleveland Browns. Red light number 2. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, pretty much any wide receiver from the Steelers. Pickett's your guy against the Bucs defense. That's not going to look good. Pickett's not going to have a great game, and that is going to be a long day for any skill position owner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And red light number 3, Russell Wilson against the Chargers. He hasn't been good to begin with. And on top of that, he's dealing with a lat strain or a lat tear, depending on who you talk to. It's just not, he's just not cooking. He's not cooking right now. The meat's spoiled. The vegetables are moldy. Like, you got to figure something out because it's just not there. It's time for our 3 green lights. Who are your 3 green lights this week, Dave?
But first up is my Rookie of the Year candidate. That's Mr. Bryce Hall. I think he has like almost 200 all-purpose yards. He's one of the league leaders in receptions for a running back. So I'm going with him against the Green Bay Packers. And next up, we talked about it on our show this week. I'm going with Kenneth Walker against Arizona Cardinals. And last, I've got the Rams defense going to eat up Walker and those Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kenneth Walker just put in for a life insurance policy.
Kenneth Walker III, hopefully, you got the goods. For me, prime green light, Khalil Herbert. Guy's got the goods. Washington is no good. Herbert is the focal point of that offense, regardless of what Justin Fields may think. He's going to have a monster game on Thursday. Number 2, the Vikings defense against the Dolphins. The immortal Skylar Thompson is starting for said Dolphins. So, yeah, that's all you need to know. Pin your ears back and just rush, boys. Just pin your ears back. It's going to be a long day for Mr. Thompson. And then my last green light of the week, Gabriel Davis of the Buffalo Bills. I think all the focal point is going to be on Stephon Diggs. Davis is going to have a monster game. I'm going to call 120 and 2 touchdowns. We're talking that level of good. But that's ours. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in those DMs on IG at FadeRoutePodcast, or hit us up on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ and let us know your red lights and your green lights. But it's time for us to run the go round again. We'll talk to you next week. Want to get on the action, we want to hear from you. Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoutePodcast. Drop us a DM on Twitter at FadeRouteDNZ. Comment on our YouTube channel, The Fade Route with DNZ. Questions, comments, picks, segment suggestions, you name it, we want to hear from you. Get at us, in crowd.